Hi, everybody, and welcome to my neck of the woods here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Welcome to the Washington Crown Center, otherwise known as the Franklin Mall. The mall opened up in 1969 as Franklin Mall with Troutman, Sears, and Grant City, which would later become Hills in 1976 as the anchors. At one point, Acme Supermarket was also located in the mall parking lot just past the Grants/Hills. That closed in 1977. Troutman's closed in 1984 and was sold to Pomeroy's, which in turn converted to the Bon Ton in 1987. 1985 saw an expansion to the mall where it added Hess's and a new Hills while converting the original Hills location into the food court and additional retail space. You'll see later on in this video that that food court is nearly empty, unfortunately, and as for the rest of the mall, it is too. As a matter of fact, since our video was done here in January of 2021, Ross Dress for Less and Ulta Beauty have since left the mall. You'll actually see at the end of the video our little walkthrough of Ross as it was in their final days, and they have just closed up in the area, whereas Ulta Beauty has relocated to a nearby shopping center. As I had mentioned, the mall was originally named Franklin Mall. In 1999, it was renamed Washington Crown Center and underwent a renovation. Among the changes were the addition of a movie theater at the site of the former Hess's, which had just closed 4 years prior. The conversion of Hills to Ames had taken place, and an addition of Kaufmann's as a fourth anchor was put in. Ames would eventually close in 2002 and become Gander Mountain in 2003. Kaufmann's was converted to Macy's in 2006 as part of the May Company acquisition by Macy's, and in 2013, Marshall's would replace Old Navy. In 2014, Ross Dress for Less took 25,000 square feet of former specialty retail shop space. The trend of replacing small shops with big box stores continued through 2014 with the addition of Joann Fabrics, Ulta, and Books A Million. By January 2015, Pre had announced that it was planning on selling the mall along with 4 other malls, which, as I will get into that, mall was originally a Crown American property, which is now owned by Cohan Retail Investment, and as we know, their track record for malls is not very good. I actually find it a bit ironic because this mall was built to compete with the Washington Mall, which was only built a little over 2.5 miles away. And if you know anything about malls being that close together, one is usually not going to make it and the other one will. But in this case, neither mall made it. Washington Mall closed many years ago and has been abandoned since, with the exception of a restaurant and Harbor Freight and a couple of other businesses on the property. Other than that, that mall remains abandoned, basically, and this one is on track to head that way, too, which is sad, and I'll get into that in just a moment. But as we continue talking about the history of the mall, in 2016, Pre had sold the mall for $20 million. It was reported that the occupancy had dropped to 87% before the sale and had represented a drop in performance. Macy's and Gander Mountain both closed in 2017. Gander Mountain would eventually become Rural King by March of 2018. Bon Ton closed in 2018 in August as they had gone through bankruptcy. That was the case with Ames as well back in 2002. In August of 2019, it was announced that Sears would be closing this location. As we know, Sears Holdings and Transform Holdco have been closing stores for many years, and they're down into the double digits, almost single digits at this point. You may remember I did a video of that Sears right before they were closing, and as of today, it just sits there as an empty anchor, just collecting dust and mold. As a matter of fact, that particular Sears location was the last full-line Sears store in all of Western Pennsylvania. Nowadays, if I want to go to Sears, I have to go to either Harrisburg, PA, which is several hours away, or Frederick, Maryland, which is also several hours away, and ironically is at another former Crown American mall. We were unaware of this at the time of our visit and mall video in January, But in October of 2020, it was announced that the Hollywood theaters would be closing their locations permanently as a result of the pandemic, and that the movie theater here would be rebranded and renamed Regal Crown Center. But as you could see in our drive around, that nothing has happened with this place yet, and to my understanding, when I've done research, it is not even open yet. As a matter of fact, the owner and operator of Washington Crown Center had filed a complaint against Hollywood theaters, alleging that they had not paid rent for the past 9 months. I mean, who could during the pandemic? Everybody was closed. However, the civil lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court in Pittsburgh contends Hollywood Theater ceased paying its base minimum rent and additional rent as required under the commercial lease and has not paid rent since March 3rd. The document filed December 23rd said the tenant owed $360,249. The plaintiff said it had filed breach of lease for unpaid rent, along with interest and attorney's fees. In the movie theater's defense, the lawsuit states that it is currently doing business under the Regal Entertainment Group brand. Now that I gave you a little bit of history about the mall, I want to tell you about our personal experiences from this place. We do frequent this mall from time to time as we only live about 50 minutes away here in Pittsburgh, and I can tell you every time I visit this mall, it gets a little bit more depressing for me personally because I see another vacancy or two, and I never see customers in here. Very rarely do I see people walking around, and it makes me feel really bad, especially for the owners of Pretzel Plus, who I had the opportunity to speak with at our visit here in this video. She was very nice, very friendly, and I'll tell you what, it was a really, really good pretzel. Kayla and I split it and had a really nice pretzel there. And I feel bad for her because she literally told me how worried and concerned she is about this mall. She said that she and her partner are wondering how long they will be able to continue operating at the mall. And I don't want to hear about that with a family-run business. Sure, with big box chains and the big chains that are nationwide, that's not as big of a factor. But when it's locally run and it's a one-off store, I really do feel bad. So I was sure to support her business. But I really hope things would turn around for her. But sadly, at this location, I don't see it happening. And it's even more disheartening because the Pretzel Plus location has been here since the 90s. So it's been here a very long time. And if you ever find yourself going to Washington Crown Center, go to Pretzel Plus and have a pretzel. It's very good. Tell them I sent you. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up talking here. I hope you enjoyed the video and this little train display, especially being Conrail trains. We do have some rail fanning videos coming up here soon. And with that said, I'm going to leave the video off with us walking around the Ross Dress for Less as it was in its final couple of days. And as of now, is just another empty tenant at the mall. Thank you all for watching very much. I really appreciate the support. If you liked the video, make sure you give it a like. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel for more content. And on Kayla's behalf, have a Kmartlicious day. And on my behalf, stay awesome as always. And if you enjoy the work that we do, and you want to support us a little bit more to help us get to more places like this, you can do so by going over to patreon.com, and you can contribute as little as $1. There are some exclusive videos over there, another one that's actually in the works of being thrown on there very, very soon, as well as the natural sounds from these mall videos without any commentary. Alright, with that said, everybody, I'm taking off. Hope you enjoyed. Talk to you next time, and see you on our next video. You never know where we're going to be. Bye, everybody.